Welcome back to the channel. I'm your financial analyst, and today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting stories in cryptocurrency right now, XRP and Ripple. With significant regulatory breakthroughs and bold price predictions making headlines, investors are asking, what's next for XRP? Today we're breaking down the facts, the forecasts, and what this means for your portfolio. Let's get started. The rally that changed everything. As of today, October 9th, 2025, XRP is trading around $2.99 to $3 with a market capitalization that's now exceeded $179 billion. But here's what's remarkable. This wasn't always the case. For years, XRP faced regulatory uncertainty. However, that just changed dramatically. In August 2025, a major turning point occurred. The SEC lawsuit against Ripple concluded. Both parties dropped their appeals, giving XRP something competitors have been chasing for years: definitive legal clarity. The key ruling: XRP is officially not classified as a security when sold on public exchanges. This regulatory milestone fundamentally reshaped XRP's market dynamics overnight. To be transparent with you, Ripple did agree to pay a $125 million civil penalty, but the overarching regulatory cloud that had hung over the asset for years finally dissipated, and the market responded powerfully. Following this resolution, XRP reached a 7-year high of 340 in July 2025, marking an incredible 480% monthly rally at that point. That's the kind of move that catches institutional investors' attention. Institutional adoption unlocked. Now let's talk about something that's captured the imagination of the entire crypto space: the XRP ETF. In September 2025, the first spot XRP ETF launched, a historic moment. For those who might be new to this, an ETF makes it dramatically easier for traditional investors to gain exposure to XRP without directly purchasing or storing cryptocurrency. But here's where it gets interesting. The SEC extended the review period for Franklin Templeton's XRP ETF application, pushing the final decision to November 2025. And yet, market sentiment around approval remains overwhelmingly bullish. According to Polymarket data, traders are pricing in a 99% chance of approval by December 31st. Why? Because the regulatory path has cleared. The agency underwent a leadership change following recent political developments, and crypto-friendly policies are now on the table. Institutional demand for cryptocurrency exposure continues to grow. With the first ETF already launched and more potentially on the way, this removes friction from the investment process. Institutions that previously couldn't easily access XRP now can. This is a foundational shift in how XRP enters the mainstream investment landscape. Short-term predictions, October-December 2025. Let's examine what analysts are actually saying about XRP's price trajectory over the coming months. For October 2025 specifically, multiple forecasts suggest modest near-term potential. Some models indicate XRP could trade between $2.87 and $3.33, with a potential 12.8% return to $3.25 from current levels. This suggests consolidation near key support levels. However, looking at more bullish scenarios, some market participants are discussing $15 to $30 targets for Q4 2025, citing Q4 seasonality and strong institutional demand as catalysts. We should note that these are more aggressive predictions on the bullish end of the spectrum. Medium-term forecasts, 2025-2026. As we look toward the end of 2025, analyst predictions become more optimistic. Multiple sources converge on similar targets. CoinDCX expects XRP may trade around $3.50 to $5 by the end of 2025. BitGet's price prediction model suggests XRP could reach $4.31 by year-end, based on expected 107% growth throughout 2025. TradingView reports that AI forecasts and analysts suggest XRP could reach 5.05 by the end of 2025. For 2026-2027, medium-term forecasts range from $4.50 to $9, reflecting the continuing impact of regulatory clarity and adoption trends. Long-term targets 2028-2030. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the $1,000 prediction. While some community members discuss ultra-bullish scenarios reaching $1,000 per XRP, it's crucial to verify what mainstream analysts with established track records are actually forecasting. Jeffrey Kendrick from Standard Chartered, a major international financial institution, expects XRP to reach $12.50 by 2028. That's 325% upside from current prices, translating to roughly 62% annual returns over the next 3 years. This is a significant and credible target from an institutional analyst. Looking further out to 2030, analyst consensus suggests XRP could reach between $8 and $15, with some ultra bullish models discussing prices as high as $26.50. However, these represent the optimistic end of the spectrum. The critical point: while a path to $1,000 exists theoretically in ultra long-term scenarios, mainstream analyst consensus from sources like Standard Chartered, TradingView, and Coinpedia focuses on much more conservative but still substantial targets. This distinction matters for making informed investment decisions. From controversy to central finance. Beyond price predictions, there's a fascinating narrative emerging around Ripple's potential role in financial infrastructure. Your original brief mentioned Ripple's evolving role as a potential central financial institution, and this deserves deeper exploration. Ripple has positioned itself as a bridge between traditional finance and blockchain technology. The company's RippleNet facilitates cross-border payments for banks and financial institutions. With regulatory clarity now established, adoption of Ripple's technology by financial institutions could accelerate significantly. Some analysts and policy advocates have even discussed XRP as a strategic financial asset for the United States, particularly in the context of central bank digital currencies and international settlement systems. While this remains speculative, it highlights the kind of mainstream conversations now happening around XRP's utility. The difference between 2024 and 2025 is night and day. XRP moved from regulatory uncertainty to having a clearly defined legal status and institutional infrastructure built around it. This foundation changes how we should think about long-term price appreciation. What could stop the rally? Before we conclude, let's be honest about risks. This is not financial advice. It's important to consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Regulatory risk. While clarity has improved dramatically, changes in policy, leadership at regulatory agencies, or new legislation could impact XRP. Government agencies maintain oversight and approaches could shift. Market competition. XRP isn't the only cryptocurrency or payment technology. Stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, and other blockchain-based solutions compete in similar spaces. Adoption uncertainty. While institutional interest is growing, actual adoption of Ripple's technology by financial institutions remains important to watch. Price predictions assume continued growth in this area. Volatility. Cryptocurrency markets remain volatile. Short-term price swings can be extreme, and investor sentiment can shift rapidly based on news or market conditions. $1,000 prediction reality check. The jump from $3 to $1,000 would require exceptional circumstances, approximately 333x returns. While mathematically possible over multi-decade timeframes, this remains highly speculative. Current analyst consensus targets $12.26 by 2030, which is substantial but dramatically different from four-figure valuations. For a $3 investment to become $1,000, XRP would need a market cap of approximately $57 trillion, which would make it larger than all current global financial markets combined. This context helps calibrate expectations. What this means for your portfolio. So what's the bottom line? XRP has genuinely transformed in 2025. The regulatory sword that hung over the asset for 5 years has been lifted. Institutional infrastructure is being built. Expert analysis from sources like Standard Chartered points to substantial long-term appreciation potential. However, the path from $3 to $1,000 remains in the realm of ultra-bullish speculation. More credible targets range from $5 by year-end 2025 to $12.50 by 2028 to $26 by 2030. These represent substantial returns for risk-tolerant investors, but they're grounded in analyst research rather than speculative projections. Key takeaways. XRP secured regulatory clarity in August 2025, a historic turning point. The first XRP ETF launched in September 2025, enabling institutional investment. Mainstream analyst forecasts range from $5 by year-end 2025 to $12.26 by 2030. Claims of $1,000 targets lack mainstream analyst support and would require exceptional circumstances. Ripple's technology is positioning itself within central financial infrastructure. Volatility and regulatory shifts remain real risks to monitor. For investors, XRP may represent an opportunity, particularly for those who believe in Ripple's technology and the sustainability of regulatory clarity. However, investment decisions should be based on your personal risk tolerance, investment timeline, and consultation with qualified financial advisors. If you found this analysis valuable, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into cryptocurrency and financial markets. Stay informed, verify your sources, and remember, the most successful investors make decisions based on facts, not hype. This has been your market analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.